into the LFC transfer room. I'm smiling. It's not because I'm happy inside. It's actually because I'm just trying not to cry actively. It's myself, Jack, Chris, Matty, going to be joined by Chedu in a second here once he's on. So Liverpool just lost Chelsea 1-0 at home at Anfield. Fifth straight loss at Anfield. First time in the history of Liverpool Football Club that has happened. We're going to try and rationalize our own feelings. In the comments below, let us know your thoughts on what happened, what you liked, what you didn't like. There's a lot to not like. But yeah, get involved. We're going to try and what I said after Everton, I'm going to say it again, and I hate that I have to say it twice in a row, is that we cannot control anything except for our own emotions and maybe religion. That's the other one.
Brother. I agree with you. I'm trying in myself to be as happy clappy as I can, but I'm absolutely fuming. I've never been so angry after a football match in my life.
Matty, sorry, Chris, keep up.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry, but honestly, that is spineless. That was spineless. It feels like they're not. Obviously, they are, but they're not. It feels like they're not putting in that oomph.
Yeah. No. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Matty. We've been in this call for about 3 or 4 minutes since we've gone on, and you have said I think 6 words, and it was like, Jesus, I'm sick of it.
I absolutely hate getting beat by them. I just hate it. But before we get into it, I just want to make a point about the referee, though he wasn't that bad this season. I think the Premier League needs to leg all these old referees. There's so many good referees in the county leagues in this country who are miles better. Timo Werner, right? He was onside. Let's not sit here and say he was offside. He was onside. VAR is ran by a shambles. All the refs are shambles, and all the young refs, if they actually come in and they'd be well better. People who know what they're talking about. All these old crabs think are all stuck in the old system. They're all shite. All the refs, I'm not asked. Fucking sick of it.
Now let's talk about the game a little bit. That was not offside. That was worse than, in my opinion, than the Mane one.
Oh
maybe not worse than that one. It was in that tier at the very least. It was a terrible call. We were fortunate to only be down 1-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
And what I'm frustrated with most is we'll talk about it a bit more in a bit, is the decision making from Klopp in the substitutions, not changing anything at halftime. And when he finally did make some changes, Chedu, you've joined us now. We've kind of gone around the circle a little bit, talked about our feelings. We'll get to the comments in a second, but Chedu first, how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, listen, I think everyone could tell that we needed to change something by halftime. But nothing happened, and when something finally happened, Oxlade-Chamberlain, really? I mean, when was the last time he did something on the pitch?
I'm not sorry to chip in. I don't think it's that. It's the fact that you took freaking Salah off, man. I don't care who you bring on.
Yeah, that's another problem. I don't understand. Out of the front three, the only one that was actually doing something was Salah, and he took him off when Matty was having a fucking disaster class out there. It makes no sense. And then the choices that Jota makes sense, but Oxlade-Chamberlain, the last time I remember him doing something was the Chelsea game last season when we won the league.
Let's run through some comments real quick. All right. I agree with this one. Chris, you hit on it. No one seemed to care. Maybe Wijnaldum,
except I'd say Trent and Curtis Jones.
Yeah,
I think Trent, he still had his lapses in defense. There was the goal that he conceded where, he's just prone to those defensive errors. I hate that people get to criticize him. He's the best right back in the world, but he struggles in defense sometimes, and he gave Mount way too much space.
No. Tonight is the first time in my Liverpool in the last 5 years where I've questioned Jurgen Klopp. Now, not to say that I want him to leave.
No,
because that's the last thing that I want. In fact, that'd be the worst thing for Liverpool. But genuinely, tonight he had no clue what was going on. I don't understand. You take the top scorer in the league off when you need a goal, and you bring on Oxlade-Chamberlain. I have nothing against Oxlade-Chamberlain. You have Salah, you have Mane and Firmino out there who are looking like kids, like who are lost in a playground, and you take off the one who actually looks like he's going to score a goal. It's absolutely out of order. And what the fuck was that?
This, I think, is far too often used as an excuse. We only had one fit center back besides Reece Williams in that squad today, and I feel fully for Klopp in that regard, not being able to play Fabinho in the midfield. But fundamentally, I'm going to bring in this comment. Why are we continuing with good God, I'm getting off my screen. I didn't notice the Klopp out part at the end. Get out of the stream. If you're a Klopp out, get out of the stream. I'm sorry. That man is up with my father in terms of men who have made an influence in my life. But fundamentally, I agree with you, Chris, that things need to change. And playing this high line when there's been so many issues is what I'm fuming with. Matty, you seem like you're ready to explode.
I am ready to explode. I agree with Chris. I absolutely adore Jurgen Klopp. He's up there with the likes of Paisley and Shankly for me. But Naby Keita is one of our most creative players, and he's sat on the bench when you need a goal. You're bringing James Milner on with 10 minutes to go. Now, not against James Milner, but he's not going to get you a goal at all. He's just not going to. I'd rather bring Origi on. Someone who's trying to ping it up. You know what I mean? It's just sad. Sadio Mane has been poor for the last few weeks, and so is Roberto Firmino. How on earth Roberto Firmino stayed on that football pitch today is mad. I love Bobby, but we've just got to be realistic and say he's past it now. He's past his prime. He's had his prime and he's past it. I just sincerely hope he doesn't start the next few games. He needs a break. Mane looks like he needs a break. It's some of the subs today was just absolutely crazy. Apparently Salah came off because of he weren't tracking back and stuff. And if that's the case, fair enough. I'd rather, if he's going to sit there up front and not defend as a team, I agree with Klopp. If you're meant to defend as a team, that's the fundamentals of football. You attack as a team, you defend as a team. So if he's come off because of that, fair enough. Because his effort should be throughout the whole pitch, not just up front. But to bring him off for the Ox is just mad. I would have brought him off for Keita or someone like that. Jota came on and looked unbelievable, sharp, ready to go. So that's one positive. But getting beat by them scumbags, I hate it.
I agree with you. Jota really was the only positive to remove from this. Chedu, go ahead.
Jota should have come on at halftime. I genuinely don't understand why Klopp took so long to make it in the first half. Matty was just shocking. Genuinely, I didn't watch the entire first half. I was out, but from the 20 minutes I saw, I couldn't believe how bad Matty actually played, and the fact that
he's out of form. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing.
Yeah, genuinely, when was the last time, without counting Leipzig? When was the last time he scored or assisted? I generally can't remember.
West Brom.
Was it West Brom?
Yep.
There you go. So why just listen? Mane needs a break. Oh, Spurs. All right. Mane needs a break. Jota's back. Start Jota instead. Let Mane rest for a while. And Firmino, I don't even listen. I love Firmino. He's probably one of my favorite players in the last few years. But we need a natural goal scorer up there. We can't keep on with the same thing over and over again, because the tactics have worked the past few years. But since the season started, they have failed us, and it's time to change how we play, or else we're just gonna keep on losing.
Look, I saw the other day. I saw a comment earlier about 14-15. This is worse than that. I disagree. I disagree fundamentally, because I think that was just bad then. I saw a match on Premier League, their Twitter page. It was the 2-1 against Man City in 2015. Two bangers from Henderson.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
What a match. And what that made me think of is, what midfielder at this club can pick up the ball and even make a goalkeeper slightly worried from 20 yards out?
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
And you know what? Has not produced that in what feels like years. And
who's been able to do that for Liverpool, though, realistically, since Steven Gerrard?
Coutinho.
Coutinho, yeah.
And I don't know. Let's talk about the subs real quick. You kind of hinted around it, but now let's fully just embrace it. Jones off for Oxlade, Salah off for Jota, and Thiago off for Milner. I mean, those are three of your best performers in my eye. Three of your best players in my eyes. I want to say performers on the day. And with the exception of Jota, inferior options off of the bench.
It's laughable. It is laughable, isn't it? I actually started laughing my head off when Thiago came for Milner because I said before the game, we're going to see James Milner when we need a goal, boys. And it happened. It was just so funny. I don't understand whether Klopp is just like on some sort of
Also,
like.
well, let's get some devil's advocate in the comments. If anybody had any reason to defend that, please share.
Please.
I'm struggling to explain it because as
You
much
know
as
what I will say, right? I sitting in them stands when Roy Hodgson was the manager, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, we're having a bad season. Yeah, we might not get top 4, but we'll bounce back. Do you know, we bounce back from that. We can bounce back from anything. Every team has a spell. It looks like it's the end of the cycle for this Liverpool team. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, like it's annoying to watch, but at the end of the day, we've had Roy Hodgson as manager. We've signed Paul Konchesky and stuff like that. It could be worse. And let's have a bit of positivity for Liverpool Football Club. We're still going to win the Champions League.
Listen. While I do agree that we're gonna bounce back amazingly next season, in my opinion, when the entire team is fit. I think we're gonna run the league. You quote me on that if you want. But the problem is, if no one gets if we don't get an injury crisis like this, we're running the league. That's simple. But
top 4, I'm afraid we're gonna lose some players, man.
That's the thing. The problem about not getting top 4 is, first of all, we're not gonna get that much money. That's the first problem there is. And knowing FSG, they are not giving us anything, so that would help in a way.
They're playing us Mbappe, Chedu. Come on, Mbappe 21's after.
Listen, but that's the thing. If we don't get Champions League, targets like Mbappe or Haaland, which realistically we're kind of, they could happen. If we don't get Champions League, it's not going to happen because both players want to play Champions League year in, year out. And even though, yes, we are Liverpool, yes, we're a fantastic team, and we will bounce back, not getting Champions League is not gonna get them interested. If an offer comes in for like Real Madrid, for example, they're playing Champions League all the time. They're always competing for the league. They're a fantastic team. They're going to take that over Liverpool.
Afford anything though. Real Madrid can't afford anything.
It's an example of like a team, but they don't have the money right now.
We bought Mane without Champions League football, may I add?
Yeah.
But Mane,
Champions League's massive, but people come to this football club to represent Liverpool. People come to this football club to work under Jurgen Klopp. People will come to this football club to play along the likes of Van Dijk. It will happen. People will still come to Liverpool. Champions League, yeah, it's going to be shit if we don't get it, but I can guarantee we still buy good this summer. They will, of course. Don't you think people like Mbappe would like to come and then be like, well, we'll play Champions League football next season? They'll probably win the league next year. And then they've still won something. They're still going to be in the Champions League. They're still playing under Jurgen Klopp. They're playing with the likes of Van Dijk. I honestly don't think Champions League's ruled out the question anyway, because I think we're going to go.
Let's get off the transfers thing because it's all about this Chelsea game.
I'm not going to sit here. If anybody in the comments dares say Klopp out, I want you out of this shit. I don't want you here. But I'm not going to sit here also and let Jurgen Klopp take a dump in my hand and say, "Wow, what good stool health do you have?" He's not done a good job in this match, and what frustrates me the most. I saw a comment earlier, I can't find it, about making the first and second mistake. I believe it was from, I can't remember who it was from. But against Sheffield United, they looked good almost. They looked good. There were flaws. It was Sheffield United, yes, but there were flaws. We allowed too many chances. But for the personnel we had, we tried that 3 at the back, Robertson, Salah as wing backs. But when we were in possession. Why didn't we try that again? Why did we revert back to this 4-3-3 with a midfield that struggles to have players in the midfield? And I'm not going to hear about this no UCL stuff. We are behind West Ham. We're behind Everton. We're behind Leicester City. We're behind Manchester United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as their manager. And if Spurs win their match in hand, they will pass us. Arsenal win their match in hand, they'll be 1 match behind us. Villa win their 2 matches in hand, they're ahead of us, and we're in 9th place. I don't want to hear about next season fundamentally.
The thing is,
United are crap. Tottenham are worse.
The thing is, sorry, to go to a point, I agree with you, Lee. Right, the support club, whether win or lose, but that doesn't mean that he's void of any blame here. He is probably one of the main culprits for blame today. and the whole staff. I think there's just a whole branch of negativity going throughout the whole club at the moment, and that does come from injuries, lack of fans, whatever it be, but it doesn't excuse the performance out there today at all.
Not that one. This is what was fascinating to me. How on earth was the midfield just, it did not seem like there was an effective unit, because it felt like, in my eyes, we were outnumbered in the wings when it was just Reece James and Chilwell felt like they ran the game for me somehow. And then our midfielders had to cover our fullbacks to get beaten out wide. And then Conte and Mount are just chilling in the midfield by themselves. And
I'll just be a bit like, that's how I feel, bro. It just all feels like everything that could go wrong will go wrong. And today was a make or break, and it has been sincerely a break.
Yeah. And look, we're now 4 points off of Chelsea. We are 7 off of Leicester. We're 3 behind Everton, and they have a game in hand as well. We're 3 behind Everton.
Right. Do you know what, right? I honestly don't think we need to worry about the league, right?
Jesus Christ. Is that Liverpool going out the Champions League, guys?
No, Liverpool will win the Champions League this year.
No, you know what?
We're going to win the Champions League. We're going to get Champions League football next year. No one needs to panic. We're going to win the Champions League, I promise you.
I'll actually back Matty on us focusing on the Champions League. I think at this point the league is just gone. I focused more on winning the Champions League. I think that's the only chance of us getting European football.
No, I would agree with you, but we just got played off the park in an individual match against Chelsea, who are going to be in the quarterfinals should they not bottle it against us.
They will not beat Athletic. I know they've already got 1 goal.
Athletic are going to win that game. They will. Yeah, I know they will. I don't think they will. I know they will.
In a 2-legged affair.
Boys.
They'll get knocked out of the Champions League by Athletic Madrid. Luis Suarez is in that team. He can score 2 goals in 5 minutes, and we know he can. Chelsea will go out the Champions League. They're nothing to worry about. Manchester City are nothing to worry about. Liverpool Football Club is built for Europe. We will win the Champions League. I don't want to hear, City, PSG, or any of these shit teams. Liverpool or Liverpool Football Club, and we're going to win the Champions League. Less of the negativity.
Listen, mate, the 2005 team beat probably one of the best sides in all time in AC Milan. So anything's possible.
Yeah, we had Jimmy Stewart and Igor Bishkan, and they had Kaka, Dida, Stam, Shevchenko, and we won it. We're going to win it again. Who's bothered on Ben?
Performance in the Premier League. I'm not going to hear about the Champions League. Let's talk about something that's a huge talking point. Salah's agent tweeted out just a period, but right after that was something out. So, Matty, your thoughts first.
Just a full stop. But if he does want to go, no player is bigger than this football club. So if he wants to go and he doesn't want to represent this shirt, I don't care. As much as I love Mo Salah, anyone. Coutinho wanted to go and thought he was bigger than the club. Leg him. The grass is never greener when you leave Liverpool Football Club. Look at Torres. Look at Coutinho. Once you leave Liverpool, career's done.
Listen.
In the world. If you leave us, sod you.
I'm going to say something, and I don't want people to take it a bad way, but in the case that Salah does go, look at it as a new opportunity for someone younger and better to come in.
Yeah, but
Mbappe.
It's not something to focus on today because
of course it's not.
Despite the fact that Mo did go off, he was still one of the better players on the field, and
100%.
I'm still behind him. And to be honest, if he does go, there's only one man to blame. The staff to blame. To be honest with you, I genuinely, how on earth he got substituted in that game, I have no idea. And I'm not saying that their entire success is null and void because of this one bad decision, but it certainly brings a lot into question.
Well, didn't he remember when he got subbed off and he had Murder on the bench and everyone was going, he's going to leave, and he didn't. He's only been subbed off. Why do people think he's going to go? If he does go and he's in the football club, it's good riddance. Nobody's bigger than Liverpool.
I'm going to raise this one from Steve. I don't know. That's what hurts the most is I have
the tactics.
There's a lot of things.
Tactics.
It's deeper than that.
Tactics plays. A lot of things went wrong in that game. A lot of things went wrong.
answering the second bit, what's happened to Liverpool, right? People are always saying, no, we can't keep blaming injuries, but Virgil van Dijk's more than a defender. When Van Dijk plays, the rest of the team push forward more because of his pace and because of his defence, how good he is in defence. Fabinho plays in the 6. Van Dijk can split teams open with a 40-yard pass. Missing Virgil van Dijk isn't just missing a defender, you're missing part of your build-up play. If you review all the games from last season, I'd say 50% of our goals start at Van Dijk. His build-up play is absolutely unbelievable. That's where it's gone wrong. We're missing arguably the greatest centre-half to ever play the game of football, and he's more than a centre-half, isn't he? That is what went wrong at Liverpool. I
100% agree with you, but there is so much more than that as well. I'd say a stubbornness from, as Chedu said, the tactics. I would say the poor lack of investment in the summer. Even though we got Thiago and Jota, we did need a fourth centre back. I just think there's a whole raft of issues that's going on that can't be defined under one headline. That's what people sometimes struggle to do, especially in today's society, because there's always only one thing to blame. There's so much put into this cocktail of Liverpool Football Club at the moment. We are so knocked down in terms of confidence and everything. And you can't signify the blame on one thing.
And the fans not being there. I think if the fans were there this season, Liverpool would be challenging for the league.
What I would like to see, so I think we don't know what the issue was with Phillips. Is Davies day-to-day? Is he coming back soon?
He's in the basement, Jack.
He's in the basement.
Phillips has been banished to the shadow realm, boys.
I'd like to see a 3 at the back with Trent and Robertson as wing backs. Because you know what? I'm going to pull this up from our guy Ben. He gets targeted at times, and he struggled today. I think he had the most passion, but he did struggle. And the knock-on effect of having fullbacks who struggles, you have to have midfielders who cannot be as expressive. And when your midfielders can't be as expressive, your forwards need to create. And your forwards can't create, you have this piece of shit performance where the forwards couldn't do anything. The midfielders weren't going to pop a goal in. The fullbacks were really contributing because they were too afraid to have to cover themselves behind. The midfielders are doing that as well. And Chelsea, we sent a couple comments of it. I haven't pulled one up individually, but they played us off the park. And that's the most frustrating thing. Robertson, I think, is if you had
just a thing on Robertson, I think he's been found out. And now I think that's purely because he's only got 1 foot. And he has been consistent. The only reason he's been the most consistent player is because he's the only one fit. No one else has been fit for the rest of the game. I genuinely think when Curtis Jones and him were linking down that left-hand side, he always passed it to Robertson, and there's only one way he's going, and that's back, because people were covering that side where he would go around and whip the cross in. But he can't do that on his right foot because he's so one-footed. And I love Andy Robertson again, but I just think without that Van Dijk, he would have that space to run into, but he hasn't got that, so he has to go back, roll it back, pass it back to Jones, Thiago, XYZ. I think he was absolutely found out today.
Can I throw a weird idea out there? Reading something that Ben said, just want to see your reactions. Would you take, due to Trent is being defensively not the greatest recently? Would you take him playing in midfield and have something like a Milner as a right back? Trying new things?
No. You play midfield at academy level. So people say, "Oh, we played midfield in the academy," but that's academy level. Can he play midfield Premier League level? I don't know. Yeah, he's a bit weak defensively, but he could. If he moves to midfield, why would he move to midfield when he's 23? He could see himself as the best right back of all time.
Yeah, no. He how many right backs in the world can even hold a candle to him at 22 when he's defensively below average? Just get better defensively and talk about a literal greatest of all time right back. I don't know why you would.
I can think better than Trent.
Not that easy. Not easy. Not as easy said than done. Honestly,
said something about Trent. I can't remember what game it was from last year, and he said that any player who wants to be a fullback should watch that game, the 45 minutes of play. And he said nobody will play better than Trent in this 45 minutes than Cafu. Trent's having a bad season. The whole team's having a bad season, but he's still the greatest right back in the world. Who's better than him realistically? So if we move him into midfield, anyone other than Trent's going to be a downgrade at right back.
Yeah.
Yes, he did Paco Ronaldo at 19.
Exactly. And Neymar.
And I know I think that actually proves my point. That vindicates me that he has that in his locker. He's just inconsistent and prone to lapses. So he's got that ability to be a lockdown, better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, defensive right back, but also has it in his locker to be a literal once in a generation creative force from the defense. So I disagree firmly with you, Chedu, especially because we have lack of options at right back.
I think one thing I did suggest on a similar vein, and I really rate Nico Williams, and a lot of people don't seem to like that, but I do. I sometimes thought you could play Trent on the right of a diamond and then Nico at right back. But that's sort of gone down the water because he's played really well as well. But talking to this, what Taylor says, Cancelo, right? He's apparently having the best season of his life, and he's still got less numbers than Trent this season.
Trent Alexander-Arnold's the best right back in the world. You don't move him. You do not move him. You move him, you just mess him up more at the defence. He played in the midfield at the academy level, but the academy level's not into Premier League level. That's why so many footballers don't make it out of the academy.
Yeah, I really don't know where we go from there, guys.
One thing I just want to bring in is, would Naby Keita have changed that game?
Yes, 100%.
Yes. More than Milner and Oxlade.
100%.
Naby Keita, with 1 foot, has more creativity than Milner and Oxlade combined. I'm not going to hear otherwise. I want to raise this question. I wasn't here for pregame. I was in classes, but I don't know what your vibe was before the match.
Do you know who Matty called overrated?
Mount. Was it Mount?
Yeah.
He's overrated. He scored and he's still overrated.
Hey, Matty, I'm sorry. I know it may be recently.
Okay. Mason Mount right. Out of the England midfielders, does Mason Mount start? Does he fuck?
No, he doesn't.
I think Mason Mount is I think he's the best midfielder for England.
No, he's
what?
Not. Jones is.
No, he's great.
Phil Foden is England's greatest midfielder at the minute.
Yep.
Think about how painful that is. That Mason Mount maybe isn't in that discussion, but Man City have the greatest midfielder currently for England.
It's because they Moolah.
No, he's from the academy, ain't he?
Yeah, he is, but it doesn't matter. They've got the money to invest in it, bro.
Mason Mount is so overrated, though, and he would not be playing in the Premier League if it wasn't for Frank Lampard. Let's get it out there.
That is true.
That is true. That goal we seen coming, to be honest with you, it was Trent and Fabinho's fault. Mason Mount is so overrated. He is so overrated.
I don't know how you were saying that after he just ran us.
Listen, Jack. Overrated does not mean that the player's bad. I mean, he's good, but he's not as good as some people make him out to be. In an England midfield 3, he would not start. I wholeheartedly believe he would.
I think he would.
Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Curtis Jones, Jordan Henderson. Trying to think who else is English now. There's 4 who start above him.
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
No chance.
Yeah,
yes, you would start ahead of him.
You're waffling, boys. I'm sorry.
Mason, the most overrated footballer in that Chelsea squad.
I am pulling up stats for this right now because I know we're talking about Chelsea players right now, which is disgusting. But in terms of midfielders, he's in the 90+ percentile in expected goals, expected assists. In terms of his key passes, he is literally the 98th percentile out of all midfielders in the Premier League.
Calvin Phillips, he's better than him as well. Just keep him off.
I think for Chelsea, he's a good player, and as a squad player, but as an overall player, he wouldn't.
He getting our midfield at the moment.
You're getting our midfield.
No.
The way we play now.
Is Mason Mount better than? I'll name a few. Is Mason Mount better than Naby Keita? Is he fuck? Is he best than Thiago? Is he fuck? Is he best than Wijnaldum? Is he fuck?
Yeah, he is.
No, he's. I know you don't like Wijnaldum, but Mason Mount is not better than them 3 midfielders. He's not best than Fabinho. He's not best than Jordan Henderson. Do you know what? He's not even bloody better than James Milner.
I'll back that. Milner would start over him in England. Best midfielder in the world.
Gassing up Mason Mount because this is a Liverpool stream. I know that we're all pissed, but All right, so do we start to look forward now, or do we still have some things to get out about this game?
I think the Premier League season's done. I think we're going to go and win the Champions League.
Yeah.
And everyone.
I don't think the Premier League season is over. Leicester are collapsing because of their injury crisis. Chelsea, I think, are top 4 locked. West Ham,
Sixth
Spurs.
is a successful season for us now, in my opinion.
No, I think
Yes.
4th
Yes.
is very attainable, and 4th should be our goal. 4th should be our goal.
West Ham will fall off. It's David Moyes. Everton.
Yeah.
It's Everton.
It's going to be, we're going to pass Leicester, we're going to pass Everton, we're going to pass West Ham, and we're going to finish 4th.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I really wish I had your optimism, boys. I really do.
Yeah, Liam, I get your comment that we're 5 points behind Leicester, but they are dropping stinker after stinker because they're
Are we not dropping stinker after stinker?
What did we? Jack, this is the first time. This is the first time in history that we've lost 5 home games in a row. We are the stinkers right now.
And guess what?
Leicester always fall off after Christmas.
Exactly. I have no worries about us passing Leicester City. No, Ben, I just
Listen, I can be hopeful about the Champions League, but no, there's no way we're getting top 4 in the Premier League now.
Jurgen's got his entire contract left. We get relegated.
Mate, Alex, you're waffling, lad. I know that. Yeah, you're waffling, son.
So we're saying about 3 teams need to drop off. We've still got to play Villa, Leeds, United. So we can take points off all of them.
Do you see us taking points off them though? Realistically,
look at who we dropped points this season. It's not as simple as saying, "Oh, we're playing Aston Villa," who they won against us once, but we're gonna beat them because they're Aston Villa.
Here's the difference: we have had a historic injury crisis. Over 200 games missed from our players combined due to injuries, which is more than double anybody else. Leicester are crumbling because of those injuries, and they're second most. They have half as many as us. They have less depth. They have less talent. Yoda is back, which is going to make a huge difference because of his directness. Keita is back, and if Klopp wakes up and tries to play Keita a bit, he will help us in these matches against teams who sit deeper. United and Chelsea are the only teams that I think can reasonably finish above us. Well, and then Manchester City, obviously, because they're.
But West Ham's next run of games, right, for context, they've got to play Leeds away at home. Then they've got to play United, then Arsenal, then Wolves, then Leicester, then Newcastle, then Chelsea. Right. And they've got to play all teams in and around it. West Ham will fall off. Everton will fall off because it's Everton. They always do fall off. But you know what, right? I'll be completely honest. I would take finishing about 9th and winning the Champions League. So we're still going to be in it next year.
I mean, so would I. Yeah, of course. But
of course. But
I agree with this comment here that only matters if we capitalize. So what I want us all to do.
Teams drop points this weekend and we haven't capitalized. But
do you want me to be honest here, boys? I'm going to read out our list of fixtures. You're going to tell me where we get points here.
Okay.
Fulham, I think we draw. Wolves.
Win.
Arsenal.
Win.
Villa.
Win.
Leeds.
Win.
Newcastle.
Win.
United.
Matty.
Win.
Southampton.
Win.
West Brom.
Win.
Burnley.
Win.
And Palace.
Win.
Dude, listed 11 wins in a row, Chris. What are you joking about?
Boys, to be honest, I can't see us.
No.
I can't see us winning hardly any of them at the moment.
Who else? The only team we've got left realistically this season. Yeah, we've dropped points against lower teams this season, but Liverpool have been better away from home this season, and a lot of them lower teams are all away from home. The biggest game we've got left realistically this season is Manchester United. Arsenal is so hit and miss. All the other teams are crap.
I think top 4 is very attainable. What I want is, I think top 4 is very reasonable. You listed a few games that I think are very attainable, and you listed some games against some rivals. So, what I want all of us watching, I agree with you, Lucas. Good comment there, lad. All of us watching, all of us here.
We need to stop panicking.
Fulham next. What are we doing for Fulham?
We're going to win Fulham. We'll win them.
I mean, Fulham is a win.
I can't see it.
I can see us beating Fulham.
I know I'm channeling my inner Ben here. I'm usually the deluded one who's optimistic, right? I can't see it. I can't see us winning against Fulham, and that sounds so. I don't know
if it's the way I've been brought up or what. But I just think we'll win every game. I'd never go into a game thinking Liverpool Football Club will lose a game of football. Even when Roy Hodgson was the manager, I used to go into every game thinking we'd win it. You don't play the game of football to lose, and if you go into already lost, you're gonna lose. This is the Liverpool Football Club need the fans more than ever right now, and I can guarantee if you go on social media, everyone's slagging that team off. Get behind them. If you don't support us when we lose, you don't deserve to support us when we win. That's what Bill Shankly once said, and I stand by it.
You know, I agree with you on that. You actually kind of changed my opinion on that a bit. That Klopp playing attacking football in the face of these injuries, in the face of poor form, when everyone's saying play a bit deeper, he is playing football the right way. And fundamentally, I don't know if you can really disagree too much with that. But what I want to see against Fulham is I want to see Jota. I want to see Keita. I don't think I want to see Firmino. I would love to see the midfield trio that is Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta reborn of Fabinho, Thiago, and Keita. I'd love to see that. And Phillips, if he's fit, with Kabak at the back.
You know what? I want to see Ben Davis because I don't see the point in signing him to sit
Exactly.
on the bench.
Here's what happened. FSG is going to find some sucker
Money.
$7 million in the window, and they're going to be like, look at us, money bags, making $5 million.
Yeah.
Appearances.
Stonks. That's
Look,
the
I'm
only
American.
reason he can win.
I should have every reason to believe in Fenway Sports Group, but this team is in need of a shakeup. But I feel like we're beginning to get to the walking point of our strip. So last week,
this new investment into FSG, I think a lot of it does go to Liverpool. I think FSG, the Red Sox haven't won, if I'm not mistaken, for a few years, like the World Series. Liverpool off this year. FSG, more than likely, they're not getting any younger. It will put money into Liverpool to make us go and win the league again, and then maybe capitalise and sell us then. That's like they're not like they're going to sell us one day. They're not going to be able to sell us while we're not in the Champions League. So they need to invest money to get us back into there. So maybe this is the best thing that could happen at the minute because they have been so tight is dropping out of the top four and getting an investment again.
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, going into the transfer market in the summer, it's something that I know that City is Oil FC, but it impresses me how they have two amazing teams they can start whenever, and our bench it's saddening looking at our bench compared to some other teams.
No. That's the injuries. That's the injuries. You cannot sign players to.
No, definitely.
And we loaned out. Literally one of our options. I'm still questioning the board and the coaching staff for loaning out Minamino for that.
No revisionist history of Minamino. He needed that loan. We needed to loan him.
No, it's true. It's true. He needs playtime. He needs playtime.
He should have been playing anyway. He should have been playing.
Minamino isn't dislodging any of them players in the front three. Let's be realistic. And Joss I
don't think he dislodges them.
But Joss is ahead of him. And Minamino is, for him to get any better in the Premier League, he needs to play games. Southampton is a perfect team for them. Ralph Hasenhüttl plays a Red Bull system, which is where he's come from. It's going to make, if anything, it's going to make his value up so we could sell him. I personally don't think Minamino was bought to add anything into it. I think he was bought for the Japanese market.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he was bought because he's getting himself sure.
It's no secret that he always played in the 12:30 kickoffs, which are the best for the Asian market. Like, he needs to be realistic.
No surprise. Well, we've hit a lot of different things here. Summer, what's up next? Last words from us as we get to the 40-minute mark, Chris.
I got to echo a lot of what I've said previously. We've got to support the team and be realistic. And hopefully we can bounce back with a win against Fulham on Sunday.
Chedu.
I just hope we're going to win the Champions League. That's all I'm going to leave us with.
Matty.
We're going to win the we're going to end 17th in the league, but we're going to win the Champions League, so it doesn't matter.
You don't deserve supporters when we lose. You don't deserve supporters when we win. We're going to win the Champions League in Istanbul. Who gives a fuck? Liverpool Football Club.
I feel like we're ending every one of our streams with we're going to win the Champions League. So hopefully we're going to get to reality. But this has been the Liverpool Transfer Room, LFC Transfer Room. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Our own Twitters are below. Liverpool will get around. Don't support us only when we win. For myself, Jack, for Chris, for Matty, for Chedu, this has been the LFC Transfer Room. Have a good rest of your day.